Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Data Tutorials. And in this video, we are going to see one more data analyst portfolio project. And we are going to see this in a Power BI tool. So in front of your screen, you can see this will be an output or a final project. And in screen also, you can see the title of our dashboard is an hospital emergency room dashboard. And this can fall under an hospital domain, or it can also fall under an emergency, or we can say medical domain as well, or somewhere it can also fall in the pharmaceutical domains, right? So these are the most trending domain right now because health industry is growing fast and fast. And for the data which is generated, the analysis should be done and some insights should be taken from those for optimizing the workflow of this health industry. Right. So in front of your screen, you can see this will be an final output, and you can see this amazing dashboard we will be creating in this particular video from start to end. So this will be our first dashboard, and in this we are going to design total four dashboards. Okay, and we are going to see each and every design of each and every dashboard. So it will be a longer video, but you will be learning so much of things from this. It will be an advanced dashboard. Okay, so you will be learning some advanced tax functions in this, some advanced calculation, advanced measures, advanced columns as well. So many more things you are going to learn in this, and I'm sure at the end of this project you will be taking away good skills and good designing skills and good developing skills as well. So I will just walk you through the dashboard, what all we have in this. So firstly we have is a monthly view. Okay, so you can see that subtitle is a monthly view. So monthly is nothing but you can see a filter over here where I can change this filter for a respective month. Okay, so with respect to that year and that month, we can see how the data is been there for that particular emergency room. Okay, so when I say hospital emergency room, it is nothing but you can call it as an ICU. So how are the OPDs and what all things are been there in that particular room of that particular hospital. And that data is that what we have, which we are going to analyze in this particular video. All right. So whatever data we have, the document also, right? So I mean, I have the document also created for this, that is terminology. So whatever data we have in our, this particular video, the explanation of each and every field is provided here. I will add this link in the, download, or we can say description box section. You can download it from there and you can read it and you can understand what we are actually using the fields and what is the meaning of those. So coming back at the top, you can see there are KPIs, which refers to a high level information or a summary of that particular, the data or that particular, what we can say, a company or a hospital we have. So first we have number of patients, and as I told you, it is a monthly view. So for a respective month which we have selected, it is giving us the information of that. So the number of patients which are there visited in that particular month, then average wait time. So if there is an OPD, so how much is the waiting time for that? So when we go, we have to wait some time, and then so this is the average wait time. Then they take feedback from the customers or the patients to understand how was their experience. So this is the satisfaction score. Then we have the number of patients referred. So referred is nothing but they came with an appointment already where they want to go or refer to a particular department. Like they want to go for oncologist, they want to visit for orthopedics, or they want to visit for gynec. Likewise, right? So they have already booked their appointment with a referral where they want to refer a particular doctor, right? Or some directly go and at the spot they ask that they want to visit this particular doctor and likewise, right? So this is what a number of patients referred where they know which department for them it is for them to visit that particular doctor, right? So this is the high level information, and again you can see this is the monthly view graph of each and every metrics which we are going to design over here. So you will get the daily view of this particular, we can say of that particular number. Let's say of this particular, let's say if you can see for 1st of February 5th, what how many patients were there. So it is giving us a more granular view. So how daily the status is, or we can say how the daily frequency is there of the patients, and based on that offer all of the measures as well. Then at the bottom, there are different charts where we deep dive in our data and take out some important, insights from the data for that particular reason, or we can say for a problem statement. So this is what we have here. So first is the patient admission status, which gives us the information of how many patients were admitted and how many were not admitted. So out of this total, how many were admitted and how many were not admitted. So and based on that, we have the percentage as well, right? So these are the total number of patients admitted, not admitted, and this graph gives us not just information. Like just looking by this graph only, we can tell that yes, admitted patients were higher. Likewise, right? So when you go down here, you have the number of patients by age group, right? So in hospital, different age group patients visit an hospital. So it depends on us what should be the age interval. So for me, I have taken a 10 years of interval. So 0 to 9 and 10 to 19. Likewise, are the 10 interval or 10 years of interval gap. And based on that intervals, how many patients visited in that particular hospital, that is the information we have. And obviously, we will take some insights from here. We can say early 30s and up to 50s, there are the more patients. And again, up to 70 to 79, there are again more patients. Like, so somewhat you can take an insight from here as well. Then we have number of patients by deferment referral. So how many patients were referred? So you can say none of them were referred. So I mean, they did not book any appointment for that particular referred department. They directly came and then they booked an appointment. But whereas few of them are like orthopedic, physiotherapy, cardiology, so they booked an appointment and then came and then they visited that particular department, which they already know where they want to visit. Then the percentage of vegetation seen within 30 minutes, right? So this is the number which I have declared on my own. So where I thought it should be that 30 minutes is the ideal patient wait time. So within 30 minutes the patient should be seen, and that is the reason we have found out where how many of patients were seen within 30 minutes and how many were not. And based on that we are finding out the target within target, or they have missed the target, right? So you can say most of them have missed the target, whereas within target are only 34%. So likewise, the information is taken. The number of patient by gender, so male, female, and not confirming is nothing but they have not confirmed their gender in the form which they have filled, or whatever online interaction or what online data entry it is in that. They haven't confirmed what was their gender. So male were this much and female were this much. Likewise. Then the number of patient by race. Race is nothing but uh, they are white, American, Asian, likewise. So what is their race based on that? Then this is an important analysis over here, that is number of patient by day and hour. So for respective day and for respective time period, how many number of patients were visiting. So this is a heat map for us where we have hours in rows and columns we have the days from Monday to Sunday, and based on that, we have the numbers of or a matrix chart or a heat map where we understand how what are the number of patients visiting in that particular hour and that particular day. So we can manage the resources, manage the inventory, and all those things. Getting? So this was an overall monthly view dashboard. So this complete dashboard is dynamic as well. So it is been operated not only by this particular slicer or a filter which we have over here, but there are some interactive or action filters also which I will show you. So first I will show you the main filter which we have is for this monthly view if you want to check it for the different month and year. So when I click over here, let's say you want to see for January 2024, so you can check this particular and you can see the data will be filtered completely for that particular year, right? If you want to see for April 2024, so based on that, the data will be again changing, let's say November 2023. So likewise, you can check it for all these particular months and for that particular year. So we have the data for now, I guess for 23 months or likewise, but we will have to check, but we will see that in the data walkthrough. So apart from this, we will also have some, interactive filters also. Let's say if you want to see just for, the patient which have missed the target. So if you click over here, so this all the data which we have is for missed target. So 267 patient actually missed the target. You can see their average wait time is 46.5. Obviously it is there, right? So if you want to see for how many patients were within the target, so these were the within target, which was 20 minutes, so which is a good time. Getting? So if you want to see for age group of 30 to 39, which was 68, so you can just click here and you can see the all information likewise, right? If you want to see for a particular patient race, you can see for African American. So that you just have to click and you can see the filtering is there, right? So obviously, if you want to see not admitted status, you can see that. If you want to see for admitted status, you can just click and you can get the information over here, right? So likewise, you just have to click and you will get the all information by just clicking for that particular. If you want to see for, let's say, Sunday, you can see the information for Sunday itself. Likewise, right? So it is a complete dynamic dashboard. You should just know how to use it, and you should also know how to design it first, right? And after you're designing this, you have to give and walk through or a demo to your customer on how to actually operate this entire dashboard. And he should know what are the functional details of each and every chart and each and everything whatever is there on the dashboard, so that your customer knows how to operate the dashboard and how to take the insights from that particular dashboard, right? So this is also important, and this is also should be documented in some cases, or you should create a video and then send it to your stakeholders, right? So it depends from company to company. All right. And similarly, we have some icons also which will take you to different actions. I will explain you while we are designing the dashboard, so not now. Then we have a second dashboard called consolidated view. So when I click on this dashboard, it will directly take you to this particular second, that is consolidated view. And when I say consolidated, it is nothing but it will give you an entire data which we have in the data set. So it is not a monthly view, it is an entire view where you can analyze all the things over here. So I applied a filter over here where it will have an ability. Let's say you want to analyze it for last 6 months, last 8 months. So you just have to apply the date period over here. So for from where to where you have to, in between dates you have to add start date and end date, and it will give you the data based on that. So if I operate this, you can see from 1st of April to 15th of I can say 1st April 2023 to 15th of January 2024, the data will be there. And all other charts and the meaning is same, just we are changing a filter where customer is asking us to show an information on monthly level, as well as he want to see an information based on his date preferences, whatever he wants to add, right? So these are the two things which we are designing. Then we have patient details dashboard where each and every detail of patient is mentioned with whatever important columns and customer want to be added over here. Obviously, we can add number of filters over here based on his race or whatever status is there. We can filter out all this particular grid view, and we can download it and we can take a printout and we can submit it to whatever department we want. So obviously we will be adding some filters over here. I have not added in this created dashboard, but we will add it in when we are creating a dashboard, right? So this is a grid view and details of each and every patient row wise, right? Then we have key takeaways. So this is nothing but an insights we have created here, and which will be helping our customer so that they will read this. And this is nothing but a developer's insights. So it is not necessary that this will be a final insights which customer takes. This can be probable insights, but more than this, they can take some more information apart from this also if they want, right? So these are few insights which are been taken over here, and based on that we are designing this particular dashboard as well. So these are the total 4 dashboards which we are going to design from start to end in this particular video. All right. So this was a general overview, and now we will start with our actual design. So first I will take you through the problem statement and whatever information what we have to design, and then based on that we are going to see a data walkthrough, and then we will start actual design. All right. So now let's see what steps we are going to see in this particular entire project. So all the steps we are going to see one by one, and all will be created in this particular video itself. So the first thing which we are going to see is the requirement gathering or the business requirements. So nothing but a problem statement where we will take the information from, we will sit with the client, we will have a meeting with the client with our project manager, our BA, and all our team lead, and all those things, our data engineers as well. And we will take the requirements. Those will be obviously documented, but they will also walk you through in the meeting so that if you have any questions, you can talk it over there itself. So we have done our business requirements, which are the first thing we are going to see. Then we will go with the data walkthrough, the data which we have, which is the most important part in the step, where 60 to 70% of work is done, where you have to go and learn all the domain knowledge based on the requirements, so your 60-70% work is done over there itself. Then we have to do data connection. So we will connect our Power BI to and data source, which is a flat file or CSV or Excel file, I will tell you. Then we have data cleaning. So we have to do some data cleanings as well, some quality checks as well. So that is also one part which we have to do over here. Then we will be doing some data modeling as well, where we will be connecting our this table to one more table. So there will be a data modeling also in this particular video or this particular project. So then data processing, obviously we have to do some calculations as well at column level, where we will be adding few calendar tables. We will be adding some columns in our original data as well, so that we have all the information which we want based on our requirements which we have, right? The tax calculation, as I told you, we are going to see advanced tax calculation, many more functions we are going to see in this. So obviously we are going to do that tax calculations as well. Then the dashboard layouting, which is nothing but the layouts of entire dashboard, setting up the dashboards, creating color combinations and all those things, right? Then charts development and formatting, obviously, this is a continuous process which we are going to do in this entire video. So creating the chart, formatting those, bringing it into utmost format that it will be easily readable and easily operatable as well, right? Then dashboard and report development, which will be again a continuous process for us. We will be creating a simultaneous dashboards as well. And last one is nothing but the insight generation, which is the most, or we can say, a conclusion of this project, where we will be taking some insights. And as I told you, insights can be many more, but we will be giving some two-liner insights at higher level, which customer can take, and based on that he should or he can take some internal or decisions, where he can grow the hospital rooms, the emergency rooms, their processes, their guidelines and all those things, right? So in this, as I told you, we are going to design four dashboards. First is the monthly view, second is the consolidated view, third one is the patient details, and the last one is the key takeaways or insights from this particular dashboard. Right. Then moving ahead to our business requirements, the first thing what we do. So I will tell you what happens in real time first in 2 minutes, right? If you are actually working in an industry, and I will tell you with my experience of 10 plus years, which I have in this data analyst industry in different companies, right? So what happens initially when a project is onboarded? I will tell you at high level. So first, resource planning is done, okay, based on the technology in which this particular project should be designed. Once the tool and technology is finalized, the resource allocations are done. And let's say you are the person who fits perfectly in that particular technology, and or that particular tool, I can say. Let's say it is in Power BI, and you are the person who knows Power BI and all the data sources connections for that, like Azure or GCPs, or if it is hosted on client side with few databases like Oracle or likewise. So you know all this, functionalities, tools, and all those things. You will be allocated to this project. Next thing, what will happen is you will be given a domain documents of this particular client, right? They will give some PDFs. They will give some information related to this particular client, books, and they will ask you to read it, take some, gather some information. Then there is a project planning meeting will be scheduled with the client, where they will provide or give the information of their company. They will provide and give an information of what is the problem which they are having in their industry or in their company, where and why they want to analyze these things, right? And if from there only some problem statements, requirements will be generated, which we call functional requirement documents, business requirement documents, where they will help you with all the credentials, they will help you with all the information they need, or color combinations. They might also ask you to create first a wireframe model, like how should the dashboard looks like. And sometimes third party peoples also create this for us, where they will give us the sample format of a dashboard, all with all the navigations, with all the actions, buttons, and all those things, with filters as well. And they will ask us to create the same thing or in Power BI or in any other visualization tool, right? And this, in this way, the requirements are gathered. And obviously next process is, you see the data, you check the data, check the tables, number of tables, you check the history of the data, you check relevant data, you do aggregations if required. the data is very large, you create data sources, create gateways, and publish the data sources on Power BI first, and connect it to with your desktop version and create reports publishing. So the to and fro motion. So this is at very high level. Some more procedures are also there, but this is at very high level, right? And first, what the business requirement we have in our this particular problem statement, or sorry, in project is KPIs requirement. And as I told you in the overview also, that we are going to define some high level KPIs which gives the information at higher level, the summary of the company, we can say. The first one is nothing but we are going to find out number of patients, right? And what the purpose of this is to just from the customer we are getting this, right? So it is to measure the number of patient visiting the ER daily. ER is nothing but emergency room daily, right? And they also want us to display a trend using an area spark line to understand pattern over time, right? So with respect to each and every day for that particular month, we have to find out the pattern by using a spark line so that they can record the peak days or seasonal trends from that, right? In similar way, we have to find out the average wait time as well, where we will be calculating the averages for the wait time for that particular patient, right? So that they are attended on time or before time based on that, right? And same again, we are going to design a spark line over here as well. And we have a patient satisfaction score as well. So it is required so that as on daily basis, they will evaluate their quality of service provided. So what is the quality of service provided, whether the patients are satisfied or not? Based on that, they are going to find out this KPI as well. Then we are also going to find out the number of patients referred, right? So for a specific department, how many patients were referred in that emergency room? So that is the thing which we are going to analyze from here as well, right? And based on this, all will have their own trends which we are going to do. So not so you can read this particular problem statement, record it, and understand what we are actually going to do in this particular project. All right. So now let's move ahead. So based on our first requirement of first dashboard, so the KPIs will be same on all the dashboards, or it will be for first two dashboards, I can say. But we will see actually on first dashboard what we are going to design, and it is nothing but the monthly view, right? So on first dashboard we are going to find out the monthly view, where we will monitor the key metrics and trend on month by month basis to identify the patterns and areas for improvement, right? So monthly view we are going to find out. Obviously there are few peoples, or there might be a requirement where you might have to find it quarterly, weekly, monthly, yearly. And for that, not required that you should create different dashboards for all of these. You can create a parameter or a filter where you can create it in a single dashboard itself. But the video would be lengthy, so I'm just giving you one case where we are going to do it monthly view. And I request you to go and work on so that you can create in the same dashboard how you can create a weekly view as well, or we can say quarterly view, right? So this is the first thing which we are going to develop. The charts, different charts we are going to develop in this. First is the patient administration admission stage status, right? Where we are going to track admitted versus non-admitted patients, right? So here we are given a full liberty. Whichever chart you want to use, you can use there. Or if you want to use a grid view, if you want to use a bar, pie chart, or a vertical bar chart, or a tree map, or a matrix chart, or shape map, whatever you want to use, right? So it depends on a developer which should be a best suitable chart for that particular requirement, right? So I have used this particular charts. It is not necessary that you should use the same. I might be wrong, or your thinking might be different, mine might be different, and based on that, you might create a different chart for that particular. But based on my 10 years of experience, I have created this dashboard based on what visual is best suitable for what problem statement, right? So second one is patient age distribution. We usually create a frequency or a bin chart for this. That is what I have created. So where we have to group our patients by 10 years of age interval, right? Then we have to find out department referrals across different departments. Then timeliness is nothing but measure percentage of patient seen within the 30 minutes, right? That is what we have to find out. Then the gender analysis we have to do, where we have to distribute the patient by gender. Okay. Then the racial demographics is nothing but based on the demographics of or race of that particular patient, we will see. Then the time analysis, which is the most important, where we have to see the volume of patient visiting that particular ER room by day and by hour, right? So this is what we are going to design in our first dashboard, which is nothing but monthly view, right? The second is consolidated view, where holistic summary will be there of that entire hospital. And here we are going to give an end and start date where a user can see the data. Either he can see from start to end, if you want to see for relevant or any respective start to end date, 6 months, 7 months, or in between one day also he can see the data from there, right? And the charts will be same. Okay, whatever charts we will be using will be same, just we are going to change a spark line over there, and we will see how we are going to do that while designing the dashboard, right? So this was your dashboard 2, and next in dashboard 3 we are going to give a granular insight to our customer, where they will be able to view the patient level data, and by which they will be doing a detailed analysis row wise, right? And they can also export that particular based on different filters which we are going to apply over there, right? And for that, what grid we have to create, and these are the number of, or we can say list of I can say the dimensions which should be able or which should be available on that particular grid, all right? Then the last dashboard is nothing but a key takeaways. So the name of this dashboard is wrong, I will just change it. It should be key takeaways. Okay. So this is a key takeaway dashboard actually. So in this particular, we are going to design, or we are going to actually write an entire text where you will be taking an insights from whatever charts or whatever three dashboards we have developed. And from that, which a customer can, do visualization, they can find different patterns, different anomalies, and do some actions based on, so that they can optimize their particular emergency room operations, and they can perfect patient care. All right. So these are the four dashboards and these are the requirements. So before moving ahead into our analysis, I know you people watch the video, some of you like also, and I would just like to request you to please go ahead and subscribe it, because just people watch and go. Like you can see, 80%, 84% people do not subscribe, only 16% do subscribe. So it's a very less amount. I will just give me a motivation and to keep bringing such kind of project, just go ahead and just subscribe the channel, so that more and more such projects I can do with the help of your motivation, right? So let's see the data which we have, and I will give you a quick data walkthrough. So the data, it's a single file which you can see in front of your screen, and is a .csv file. So here you can see at the top, these are the number of columns we have, which is the total number of 12 columns. If you can see, the rows we have is 9217, but in that one is the header, so total rows or the total data we have is 9216. All right, and I will just explain you each and every particular row over here, or we can say column, not row. But before that, I will just recommend you to go through this particular terminology document, where each and every information of that particular row is been provided, of that column is been provided, or of that field is been provided. So the link of this you would find in the description box itself. You can download and you can read it from here. If you want it, you can download it. All right. So the first is the patient ID we have, and patient ID is nothing but it's an unique number given to each and every patient. So this will be an unique ID for us. So each and every row will have an unique patient ID, and obviously it should be not null. So fortunately, this data is already cleaned. We have a clean data over here, so we don't have to do much cleaning in this, right? So we have a clean data and structured data for us, right? The next we have is the patient admission date. So on the which date for that particular patient has been admitted or visited that particular the same thing. Okay, the patient admission and visited date is the same thing. So it will be an patient date which he have visited or been admitted, because on that particular date, and we have the time also on what time he have visited that particular hospital. Then we have the initial of the patient and the last name of the patient. So this is the way they type all the information, the first name and then we have the last name. Obviously, this is the patient gender, which is the self-explanatory field. We don't have to, go in detail with this. That is male, female. Then we have age of the patient, and this will be obviously in years. Okay, so this will be years, of the patient age in years. Then we have race, whether he is a white, he is an African, Asian, or African American, likewise, right? And he's the here we have a department referral, so whether he has been referred to any department or not, or he just was not referred and then he was just admitted or visited that patient directly. Then we have a patient admission flag, which is nothing but true, and true indicates that the patient has been admitted after his consultants, and then the false is nothing but the patient was not admitted after consulting with that medical officer, right? Then we have a patient satisfaction score, and here you can see that not all the patient have the satisfaction score over here. So this might be something that it won't be giving us and correct information over here when we take average of all of these, but this is the satisfaction score we have. So we will for now be taking all the direct average of all the entire rows. So that's the patient satisfaction score we have. Then we have the patient wait time, which will be in minutes. Okay. So this is the patient wait time we have. Then CM we have. Let me see what does it mean. Okay, she's nothing but a case manager. Okay, so patient CM is the case manager where individual or team responsible coordinating with the patient. This is nothing but for of that particular department or of that particular doctor's reception, whether that coordinator was managing that particular patient or not. It is in yes or no. That's it. And so this is the data which we have, and based on this particular data we are going to design our dashboard. So you can download this data from the description box, will be where the link will be there for of this particular video. All right, so now let's proceed and we'll start, and we'll just open Power BI and we will start designing our dashboard. So I have taken a new Power BI workbook file, you can see in front of your screen, and now you can follow the steps whatever I am doing in this particular video. So the first what we have to do is we have to connect our Power BI to the data source we have. And as I told you, we have the data source format as .csv file or a flat file. And so there are different data connections available. So connect our data or Power BI to a flat file. What we have to do is here you have to go in a home ribbon first, and here you have an option is called as a get data. You can just click over here, and here you have an option called as a text or CSV, right? So you can just click on this particular text and CSV, and what you have to do is you have to locate your file in your system. So you might have already downloaded the link or the data from the link which is available in the description box. Alright, so after you have located your file in your local, I will just click on this and I will just click on open. So it will take some time for your connection, and it will give you a message, and you just have to load your data. So you can also check if all the columns are been, imported or not, or been brought or not in Power BI. It will just give you the first 200 rows. Okay, you can also bring your entire data set also to view it over here, right? So I'll just click on load data, and as soon as you do, the data will be loaded in your Power BI. So you can see, so data has been loaded, and if you want to see the data at the left hand side, you have a option here called table. You just have to click on this particular table view, and here you can see the entire data has been brought over here, and at the right hand side you can see the name of this table. And here when you collapse this, and you can see these are all the you can see the fields available in this particular entire data, and you can see some icons or symbols are also provided over here. The summation is nothing but it's a numeric data type, I can say, or a whole number, and this is nothing but a date data type, and all other are dimensions, right? So the data type are also there. So after the data has been brought into your Power BI, always do some checks first. First, what you have to do is you have to check if all the data has been brought, check if all the columns are there, see the number of rows. You can see at the table, you can see at the bottom left corner you have the name of the table, and you can see the number of rows which are been brought from that particular table, right? So you can see 9216 rows, which are the same number of rows which I showed you when we saw the data walkthrough. So the first thing, and all this all the values are also been brought. Check, also do check if every to do. and just we will go on the transform data. So once you on click on this, it will take us to a new page known as Power Query Editor, and where you can do some different transformations on the data. So I'll just click on this, and it has opened me a new window where I can do different transformations over here, right? So first I'll just uncheck this, and then I will show you how to check the quality of the data as well later, right? So this is the name of the table you can see, and at the right hand side you can see these are the applied steps. This is nothing but a history of whatever steps we are applying after coming to this Power Query editor, so that another user or yourself, when you're opening it after 2 months, 6 months, a year, or 2 years, so you know what steps are being applied to clean the data or to modify the data over here in Power Query itself, right? So what first we have to do here is we have to create a new column over here, because here you can see a patient's first initial is present and patient's last name is present, but we want a patient full name, which will be required later in our dashboard creations or report creation. So we will do that first. So we have to create a new column over here, which will give us an or we can say concatenation of these two fields, where which will be combined and determined or called as an patient full name. So for that I will just go in, and second option over here called as third, I can say add column. Then here you have an options over here. I will just click on custom column. Okay, so we have to create a new column based on a custom formula. I will just click on a custom column over here, and you can see a dialog box has been opened, and it is asking us what should be the name of the column. So I'll just give the name of the column as patient full name. Okay, so this is my name of the column, patient full name, and here you can add the formula, right? So what I want is it should be addition of patient first initials. I will just take and drag it. I'll just double click over here. You can see patient first initial, and you can use an ampersand, and I will use a double inverted comma. So I want a space between these two fields. So that's the reason I will add one space over here. You can see I've just added one space into double inverted commas. Again, I will write an and, because this is and one string, this is one string, this is second string, and third we have to add again, that is patient's last name. Just click over here, and this is the formula. And here you will get a message that no syntax error is there in this particular formula which we have wrote over here. And you have to just click on OK. As soon as you do this, you can see a new table has been, or not, a new column has been created, which gives an information of patient full name. And obviously you can do this in Tableau as well, but I want to just tell you how it is done in Power Query, so you will know that yeah, we can do it in Power Query as well. Because if there is some tricky calculation, some tricky or some complex edit you have to do, it is preferred that you should do it at data source level, or you can do it in Power Query itself, right? So this is the patient full name, and you can see at the right hand side in applied steps, there is an option one added here called as added custom. So if you want to see the information of this, you can just click on here. That is nothing but the settings button, and you can see what formula you have applied over here. So this records everything, and if you want to delete this, you just have to click on this cross button twice. It will delete this entire step, right? So likewise, what are the steps applied when you come to Power Query Editor? It has been recorded, and you can know what we have to do here, or what has been done over here. The next is patient gender. You can see patient gender, it's given just with MF, these kind of words, that is abbreviations, but we have to mention it in a full words, right? So what we will do, we will change this M to male and F to female. So for that, I will just click on this particular drop down over here, and or I will just right click over here, not on drop down, just right click over here. Also we can see NC is also there, right? So I will just click on drop down layer. You can just right click over here, and you have an option here called replace values. I'll just click on replace value, and here you have an option. I will just replace M. Okay, I have to replace M, and I have to add it with male. Okay, just click on male and just hit OK. You can see all M has been converted to male. Right click again, and I will just change it again, replace values. Now I will change F to female. Okay, simple. Just change F to female now, and one more step. that is NC. Right here you can see now NC we have to change to non-confirmed. Okay, so right click, replace value, and I'll change this NC to not confirmed. Okay, the spelling it might be different, but I've just used this. You can change the spelling if I'm wrong over here. I will just use this. Okay, and now here if we click on this, you can see all these values are being changed to female, male, and not confirmed. And here all the history has been maintained. Replaced value 1, 2, and whatever replacement has been done here, you can just click on this and you can see what has been replaced and what not. Right. So all the steps have been applied and we have done our data cleaning. Actually, this was the only cleaning we required, but most of the time we have to check everything. And this is why the most of the time we have to do work on data itself. Once the data has been structured and cleaned, it is very easy for us to create and dashboard based on the customer requirement and writing the tax formulas as well, right? So more and more data or more and more time should be spent on data modeling and data creation itself because it is the heart and brain of this particular Power BI reports. All right. But so now next what we have to do is we have to save this entire thing and first we have to check the quality of the data as well, right? So now to check the quality of the data, meaning we have to see if there are any errors, any blanks. So there might be blanks, but errors should be not there because blanks is not an error or it is not an discrepancy in the data. It is the demand of that particular data set that there should be a blank value, but errors should not be there. So for that we will go in view here. Okay, just go in view and here there are some options available. I'll just click on column distribution and I will just click on column profile as well. Column profile is not required. Column distribution itself will give you everything. So here you can see uh, the first thing, that is patient ID. Here you can see message has been provided that 100% or we can say 100% distinct value and 100% unique. It is nothing but each and every row of this particular table or this particular hospital data of that particular patient is unique. So each patient visiting to that particular hospital is given an unique ID, and that's the reason this, right? The patient ID is also, we can say patient admission date is also unique. Why? Because on the patient date might be repeating, but here you can say time might be different, right? So it can be same if they are referring to different department, but that is a very rare case it might happen. But for our data, it is different because the time is different. Date can be same, but time is different for us here, right? Similarly here, initials obviously initials may duplicate, so it doesn't matter for us. Just that it should not have you know errors, which is not there. Okay, and then we have here patient last name also, which is fine. It might be there might be patient who are having same name. Here you can see three distinct values are there because male, female, and not confirmed that all. Then we can see patient age. Then we have seven distinct values here also in patient race. Then we have 8 distinct value in referrals, also 2 distinct in admission flag because just true and false is there. Satisfaction score, here you can see there are null because we do not have an value for all the patient satisfaction score. So that is fine. It doesn't matter. Then we have patient wait time. Okay. Then we have CM score, and this is nothing but the newly created field that is nothing but patient full name, right? So in this way you can also check the quality of the data, and here also you will get a message where it gives us an information of it is valid 100%. You can say error is 0%. So if error is 0%, it is a good message for us. If it is valid 100%, that is a good message for us. These two, that is valid, sorry, error and empty, it should not be there over here, right? It might be there because here you can see empty is there 72%. That is fine. Empty is nothing but blank values are there. That is fine. Error should not be there. Getting? So it should be always 100% because it should be valid. Error should be always 0%. Empty can be 0% or may not be 0%. That's fine. Depends on purpose to purpose of that particular field and client to client or table to table information from that field. All right. So this is how you actually check the quality of the data. All right. So now what we will do, we have to go back to our Power BI. And for that, what we will do, I will just hit close and apply button so that whatever changes we have done over here, those will be automatically applied and we will go back to our Power BI desktop. So I'll just hit close and apply, and it will take some time to load all the changes again. Yes, we are here. Here you can see the patient full name, which has been added. Then you can see here the patient gender where male and female are there. If you click here, you can see male, female, and not confirmed is there. All right. So likewise, all the information has been added over here. Okay, guys. Now, next thing, what we have to do here is we have to create a date table. And now, why to create a date table? Because as I told you, we have to create. I'll just show you the dashboard over here first. Created. We have to show the month and year, right? And to show this, I usually prefer to create a monthly, or we can say a date table, as well as for the spark lines also. I will usually go and create a date table, which is a separate table based on which modeling will be done and that it should be brought into visualization. And similarly for these particular things as well, for creating hours, months, that is nothing but Monday to Wednesday and all these things, we actually require time intelligence functions, or we can say a date table. We also called it as a calendar table. So first we will create that. So whenever you have to deal with date functions related anything to date, always create a date table, and it is recommended by Power BI Microsoft itself that you should create a date table so you can play correctly with your dates. Okay, because date is something that your data is which confirms that your data is of that particular date of that particular time and all those things, right? So you work on any project, you always have to create a date table and you always have to play with dates, and based on dates only you have to find out all the metrics. All right. So for that, what I will do here, you have an option. You have to go in table tools here. Okay, just go in table tools and here you can create a new table. Okay, so I'll just create a new table, hit it, and here you have a DAX. I'll just increase this and I will name it as date table. Okay, so I've created a date table. Now what I will do here, you have to create a date table based, and I will just create it from calendar. Okay, I will use a function called calendar, and it takes two arguments, that is start date and end date. Okay, so start date for me, I will derive it from admission date, because admission date, whatever minimum date we have in admission, so it is the first patient which we have, it will be first patient visited in that hospital from that data, and we will take maximum date which will be the last patient visited that particular hospital, and in between all the dates we will automatically get. So start date is nothing but minimum, it will be minimum of our patient admission date, right? So from this only we are going to derive everything. So I have, okay, so it's flag, I have to take date. Okay, so it's patient admission date, close the bracket, comma, second argument will be max. I'll just reduce it so I will know, I will max of again patient admission date. Okay, so it will be this patient admission date, close the bracket again, close this calendar, right? So this is for max and this is for calendar, and hit enter. So as soon as you do here, you can see the dates has been created. Okay, so the first patient which was admitted was on 1st of April 2023, and the last one here you can see it was on 30th of November, I guess. No, October 2024. So this is the data we have, that is from 2023 to 2024, almost 16-17 months you can calculate. Okay, so whatever the data we have in this particular date table, you can see each and every row of this particular date is different. If you can see carefully, you can see date, each and every date is different on each and every table, or you can say each and every row, right? So this is, you can say, a primary key for this particular table, which is unique, not null, and right, each and every row have a unique value, all right, and not null value. And now what I will do in this particular table, I will create a new column. So I'll just click on new column and I will name it as month. Okay, I will name it as month name. So month name, I will just use a format function, because if you use month function, it will give the number of that particular one. But we want the name of that month. So format, so value should be what? Date table itself. Okay, so this is nothing but this date column. So date column from this date table, comma, and what should be the format? So in double inverted comma, I will type 3 times M. I will close and I will just hit enter. So as soon as you do, you can see it is extracting the month name from this particular date field. Okay. 3 times M, it is giving us the first 3 letters of that particular month. If you type 4 times M here, it will give you the entire name of that month. So I will just give 3 times. So I just want the initial letters, right? Then I will extract the year as well, right? So what I will do, I will write one more. I will just go to table tools and I will create one more column and I will write year. Okay, I will name it as year and I will use a year function. So year function itself will give me the name of or the number of that year, or we can say 2023 or 2024 likewise. And it should be from date field of that data table. And just hit enter. You can see it is extracting the year of that particular field of that particular value from the date column. Alright. So there are more fields we have to create over here or more columns we have to create. But based on as we move into our design based on the requirements we have, we will create those on the go itself and not now. So you will understand why we are creating those. So these two I have created because in the first dashboard for monthly view, we have an filter. Okay, here you can see we have an filter here, this where we have to show the filter in September 2023, October 2023, likewise, right? That's the reason we have created that. Okay. Now we have to connect these two tables. Why we have to do that? Because right now, as per the data model we have created, they are not connected to each other, right? They are two separate entities. And to do that, we have to do data modeling. So I will just go in model view. And here you can see we have to do data modeling. So right now there is no connection in between these two tables until and unless we create a connection in between these two tables. Uh, it won't work while we are creating the report, right? So we have to create a connection first, and then it will be useful for us when we are creating the reports. So we know that this is a date field which is an unique and not null field, that is a primary key for us. So I will just take this date and I will drag and drop on the date patient admission date. So as soon as you do, it will give us an new relationship field over here, which shows that cardinality as one to many, which is correct, and cross filter direction is single, which we want the same as it is. I'll just click on save, and as soon as you do, you can see a relationship has been created. And as soon as when I hover over my mouse on this line, it gives me an information that these two tables are been connected in between which two fields. So that is date and patient admission date. And here you can see one is there and here star is there. What's the reason behind that? Because here the date have each and every row have a unique value. So that's the reason one is there. Nothing but date is a primary key. But here you can see star is there, which means that this patient admission date have multiple repetitive dates. I can see, you can see it is a foreign key which have repetitive values, but it does not have unique values. It have duplicate values are also there. Like date might be have same. If you go in here and if you see the hospital year data here, you can find some date that are repetitive on each and every row, right? Don't look at time, we are just looking at dates. Okay, so you can see dates might be repetitive on each and every row, right? If you find it, you will get. Right now we are not able to see those because those are not sorted correctly, but you will find it. Okay, likewise. So that's the reason one to many. This is primary key, this is foreign key, right? So it's and this is the actually the uh, I can say the join which is recommended. That is, we should always use one to many joins in between modelings. There might be cases where you have to use one to one. Rarely many to many is used, but one to many is always used. If you are using many to many, it causes redundancy in the data or duplications in data as well. All right. So we'll go again back to our table view, and now we will go back to our report view now, and Now here actually we have to create our dashboard because we have cleaned the data modeling has been also done, and now we will build our visuals. All right. So now we will be starting our actual design, and before developing our reports as per our problem statement or a business requirement, first we will do a page setting for us. And so now you can see this is the page one. We will do the page setting over here itself. So just go over here in format your report page. I will just click here. Here you have different options available. First I will go to canvas setting, and here the type I will choose it as custom, so I can use a custom height and custom width over here. So I'll be choosing the height for me will be 1400 pixel. The height will be 1400 pixel for me, and the width I will be choosing it as 2300. Okay, so this will be the height and width for me, and the alignment I will choose it as middle. All right, this is canvas setting. I will go to canvas background. I will give the background color as well. So I will choose from here, and I will go to more colors, and I will use a color code over here as AOD1FF. So this will be the color code which I will be using. Okay. It's a very light gray, and I will be using a transparency as 85%. Okay. So this will be the color code which I'll be using here. You can see in this. Actually, just give me a second. So this code, it should be background code. I will choose it as different. First again, hashtag A0. Again, I will do that B1FF. Okay, yeah. So this is a blue color. Actually, this is a zero over here, A0D1FF. So you can use the same code with 85% of transparency. All right. So now you can see we have some placeholders at left hand navigation page for this, and at the top to take the titles and some filters as well. So I will add those first. So you can just go ahead and go to insert page, and I will add it the shapes over here, and just choose this rectangle. Okay. So you can see the rectangle has been brought. I will just take it to the extreme edge, and I will go to general, go to properties, and I will choose the height for it. So height would be directly, I will just drag it to the end of this particular page canvas, I can say. And the width for me, I will be choosing at 310. Okay, so this will be the width. I will again copy this, Control C, Control V, and I will bring it over here, and I will reduce the size likewise and extend it to the end. All right, and again go to general, go to properties, and here I will just choose the height for this as 140. Okay, so this is the uh, canvas titles and all those things, right? So to take the title and the menu bars over here, now select both the shapes by using control, select both the shapes, and we will do some color combinations here. Now just go in style, and I will go to more colors, and I will choose the color for me as hashtag 70BBFF. Okay, so this will be the color combination, and the transparency I will be using it as 50%. Okay, so yeah, so this will be the headers titles which we'll be taking. And so here you can see I haven't been using any select both again, and I will be not using any border, so I will just turn off the border over here. All right, so this will be the placeholders for our headers, I can say. Here you can see. All right, let's see if we are using any borders over here. I mean, I just want to check. No, we are not using. All right, so let me check once the color foundation. Are we using it correctly? Just confirming. Yes, we are using the same. You can use the same color, and you can use the color combination as your wish. So doesn't matter. Now we will go ahead and we will add a title to this particular report. So I'll just click on text, right? And I will reduce it. It's big, and I will add the text that is nothing but the title of our dashboard. That is hospital emergency room dashboard. Okay, reduce it. Select this entire thing, and we will choose the font as Sage UI bold, and the font size is 44. Okay, and now increase it likewise, reduce this likewise, Now select this particular shape, then go in effects and turn off the background. Just that's one thing we have to do. And I will now drag it at the top. Okay. So this is my title, as you can see it over here. So now I'll add one more text which will carry the name of my dashboard. So I'll reduce it first. Okay. And which says monthly view. Okay. Same thing you have to do here as well. Go to effects, turn off the background first, select the entire text, and I will choose the font as Candara, and I will make it as bold, and I will choose the font size as 28. Okay, so this is my monthly view dashboard. All right, perfect. Okay, so now based on this, what we will do, we have our problem statement. Let me show you first. Okay. All right. So now based on our problem statement, first we have to do the KPIs requirement. And first we have to find out the number of patients. That is, we have to design our KPIs first. And for that, we will do few calculations and then we will start doing our design. Okay. That is bringing by using tax calculation, we will start designing our dashboard simultaneously on the go itself. All right. Now what we will do, I will just collapse this and now we will do our design. So first thing what we have to do is find a number of patients. Okay, here you can see find out number of patients which are visiting that emergency room daily, that is ER daily. And we have to display the trend as well for them as in a spark line. Right. So what we will do first, I'll just right click over here and I will create a new measure. I will just increase the size so it will be visible for you, and I will name that measure as number of patients. Okay, so this will be number of patients for me. Okay, so now I already told you while I was giving you the walkthrough of this particular project that number of patient is nothing but the each and every row in the data set. I will just show you the data. So each row in this particular data displays the information of patient. Okay, one patient. So we have to take row count of each and every data or whatever we have in this particular data, right? So each and every count of the row we have to take, and for taking a count, we should know that which is a primary key available in this particular data set. And as I already told you, patient ID is something which is unique for each and every patient. So we will take distinct count of this particular. If you can take count also, but safer side, we will take distinct count of this particular patient ID. We will get an one and same value if you are taking distinct count or count distinct. That is only count. So I'll be using as a distinct count. Okay, so I'll use distinct count and the column name is nothing but patient ID. Alright. So this will be the patient ID for me. And just close this and hit enter. Alright. Now what I will do, I will just bring a KPI card over here. You can see a KPI card, a regular KPI card I will bring. I will reduce the size first. Okay. And I will just bring up the, so you can see a new calculation has been created. You can see a calculator sign from here. So it indicates that new measure has been created. So I'll just select this and you can see these are the total number of patients available for us. But what we want is we want this as a monthly view. And when I say monthly view, we have to select it for a particular month of that particular year. All right. So now we have to bring a filter over here which displays the month and year of that particular, we can say, we can say year and month of that particular date. All right. So now to do that, what we can do is we can either bring two filters, one which says year and one which says month, or we can combine those month and year filter and then bring those. Both options are available for us. And easiest one is we can bring both as a at a time, as I told over here. Here you can see we can bring both at a time, but it will be a long list for us to display. So what we will do, we will bring first year and then we will bring month. Okay, if data is large, then we can first sort it by year and then we can sort it by month. Right. So what we will do first, I will take a slicer from here. You can see I will just take a slicer. I will reduce it. Okay, and first I will choose it as year. Okay, you can see year is available. I will go in settings over here, go to slicer settings. At first I will choose it as drop down, and selection I will just choose it as single select. Alright. So we will have a single select over here. So first I will choose it as 2024. Okay. or you can just choose it as 2023 as well, right? So now next what I will do, I will bring month as well. So I'll just copy this and I'll bring month as well over here. So I'll just delete this first and I'll bring month over here. All right. So same here, slicer settings is again a single select. But when we are selecting this filter, we are not getting any value over here. So that's something worrying for us. And what do you think? What might be the error? So this kind of error you will get in a real time, projects as well. That you are doing everything correct, but still you are not getting a value in this particular field. So what's wrong over here, guys, is which is very important for us to see is that we are doing something wrong in our data model itself. See, Power API is nothing but when we drag and drop the fields, it will give some input or it will give some value for us. Sometimes it gives the correct value, sometimes it gives null value, blank values. Sometimes it will give an incorrect value itself directly. But why it gives that particular name for us? Because it is everything related to data cleaning, data modeling, and all the data types are correct or not. So first thing what we have to check, I will just go to our data and we will check if this data or the date which field which we are using, it has a correct data type. So when I select this particular data field, you can see the data type is date time, which is absolutely correct. Then we will go in data model, we can see the data model is also correct. Then what is wrong? So here you can see we are using the join in between date and patient admission date. And when you see the patient admission date, it has a time column as well in this, right? Or we can see a time component available in this date itself. And when we are joining with this particular date, that is, if you see the date table, here you can see the date which we have created as a calendar table, it have 0000 everything. That is, it does not have a specific time period which we have dragged and brought it into the date table. So if you see these two fields, those are not correct actually, right? So what we will do, we will extract this patient admission date into two fields. First, we will make conversion of this patient admission date as where it will take only date. Okay, where it will only take a date format, and the second one it will just take a time. Okay, so it will bring only time from this field and it will only bring date from this field. So we'll split these two political fields. So for that, what I will do in this ER table, I will right click and I will create new column, not new measure, new column. I will just create a new column and I will name it as patient admin date. Okay, I will name it as patient admin date. You can use any date, whatever you want. Okay, and I will be using a date function because we have to create a date. So it is asking us year. So what should be the year? I will take year function. I'll be using a year function. Sorry. Okay, I'll be using an year function of which date. So we want to take year from this particular date, that is patient admission date. So I will take it from patient admission date, close the bracket, comma. The second argument will be the month. So I will be using a month function from here. And again, I will have to take it from patient admission date. Sorry. Okay, so patient admission date, close the bracket, comma. Okay, then I have to use day. So I will be using a day function again from patient admission date. All right, close the day and for the day, and I will just hit enter. Then as soon as you do, you can see we have got this particular new field for us where we have only received and what I can say here from here you can see from patient admission date we have only received a date from here, but here you can see the time everywhere is 00, but we don't want time itself over here to be displayed. So for that, just select this particular column and here you can see data type. Here we will only choose it as date. Okay, so you can see we can only now see the date over here and no date time component available over here. Similarly, go in date table also, select this particular date, and here also we'll just choose here as a date. We don't want any time component. Perfect. Now we'll go to our model and I will make some changes in our model. So connecting instead of using patient admission date and date, we will use it patient admin date we just created right now, which will be a correct join for us, right? So first I will right click here and I will delete this. I will just click here. And now as soon as I change this, here you can say whatever I see blank over here, I was seeing initially because now I have deleted the data model. So it will show us the correct number. because it is showing now all the records. It is independent of this two because I have deleted the model. But when I choose this, it will show the correct number of that particular month. So when I join this, see, I will have to join this now on patient admin date, the newly created. I will join this. You can see one to many single, that is correct, and just click on save. So now you can see data model is created. Now we'll go to report view. And now here you can see 479 is the correct number which we are seeing. Let's say you want to see for February. So I'll just, so in 2023 we don't have, I'll just go in 2024 and I will select it for February 431. And we'll just cross check our value with our new dashboard that I have already created. As you can see February 2024, it was 431. The same value we are getting over here. Alright. So in this way, we have to troubleshoot, and I'm sure you might have learned something from here, that when we are joining on a date field which has a time component in it, it would not work if you are using a calendar table. You have to split these two fields. We still have to split the time component, but we will do it later when we are working on a time component part in a matrix chart. So that is a later part. Okay. So now I will do some formattings on this quickly. So I will just go on values and I will choose it as semi bold, and I will increase the size so it will be visibly good for us. So I will just increase the header as well, and I will choose it as again semi bold, and I will increase to 50. Alright. Same thing, format painter, and I will use it for, sorry, select this format painter and I will use it for month as well. Alright. And I'll just reduce this and I'll just bring it over here. And we'll do more formatting on this at the end of this particular dashboard. Alright. So now you can select different months, select different years and all those things. But over here, one more thing what you can notice here is I don't see 2023 because February we have selected and February is not available in 2023. So if you select any other October, you can see now here now 2023 is available. So either you can do this or you can do this slicer as well. I will show you how to this particular slicer, that is month and year both in a one single slicer. So for that you have to go in date table. So I will just go in date table over here and I will just right click over here and I will create new column in date table. Okay. And I will name it as month and year. Okay. Simply you can just concatenate these two. So one thing that guys always remember, you can bring or write this entire calendar table in one calculation also. It does it, you can do that, but I am doing this all in separate calculations just for your ease of understanding. So when you move forward, you do more calculations, you do more practice in such kind of projects, in real-time projects, you can write this entire data table in one single calculation itself. Okay. So that's your part, but you can do in this way also. Just for ease of understanding, I'm doing this so you will not be getting confused. All right. So I will just add this. Okay, I will use a month name. Okay, I'll use the month name. We already have month name, and I will just use it as add function. I will add one space over here and year. Simple. Hit enter. So you can see you have the month and year of this particular field which has been taken from here. I just go over here into your report view and you can just bring a filter of this. Okay, instead of this you can bring month and year and then you can operate it however you want. You can do that. All right. So here as well you can see this particular months, those are not formatting correctly in ascending order, right? So that is at the top there should be January and at the end there should be December. Okay, so that we should know how we can do that. All right, so we can do that actually. All right, so now to do that, what I will do, I will just go in our date table again over here, and I will create one more column over here, name as month number. So I'll just bring month number over here. So bring month number. Okay, and I will just use a month function. So when I use month function, it will give me the number of that particular month. So April, it will give me 4, right? If you want month name, you have to use format function. And month, I will just take it from date table. So you can see from date of this date table, and I will just hit enter. And you can see you will get the month number of each and every month which are there in this particular date column. Okay. Now I will just go to report view, select this month name Okay, just select this month name, go to column tools, and here you have an option called by sort. I will just sort it by month number. Okay, as soon as you do, and now when you see here, you can see you have everything from January to October. So, I mean, we don't have December. That's the reason we just have the data till October. And you can see those are all in the correct format which we actually have as a calendar. All right. So this is also one more trick which you can do. All right. So now we have created our first KPI, and now we will go ahead and bring our first shape over here. That is nothing but the placeholder for our KPI. So for that, I'll just go in insert, go in shapes, and I'll just bring the shape over here. All right. So this is the shape, and we'll do some formattings for on this. So go in general, go in properties. So the height for me will be 260. Okay. And the width I will be using it as 435. Okay. And all other thing that is go in shape, and in shape the corners I'll be using it as 8%. Okay. And obviously style we have to choose for this. So the color for this I'll be using, just go in more colors, and I will be using a code over here. I will just tell you code will be 7 hashtag 70 BBFF. Okay. And I'll use 30% as transparency. Okay. So this will be the code which we'll be using. One second. Just let me check what code actually is there. I think I'm doing something wrong. I'll just take a code from here itself. I think we are using a plain white. Okay, I will just use zero transparency and I will use a white. Okay, so we're using a plain white. Alright. And 1 minute. So border, I will be using it as going shape, going style, and border I will be using it at 2 pixel. And let me see what is the color of the border. So it will be this one, I guess. Yeah, the first one. This. Okay, so this is the placeholder for our KPI. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Is it perfect? Yes, it is. All right. So now we have to do some formattings over here as well. So for this number, first we'll do some formattings. I will just go over here in call out value, and here I will be choosing the din only as a field font, and I will just bold it, and the font size I will be using as 45 itself. All right. So I won't change anything over here, but just I will just turn off the category label. Okay. So I don't want category label to be displayed. All right. I'll go to general and I will turn off the background first in effects. All right. And next thing what I have to do, I have to give the title here. Right here you can see the title of this particular chart also I have to give. So I'll just copy this title over here from here. Control C, Control V, the monthly view, and I will just give the name of our title, that is nothing but number of patients. All right. So just let me check the font of this. Okay, it is Candara 24, and I guess this one bold. All right. So it's Candara. I'll be using it as 24, and this one. I'll like this. Perfect. Okay. All right. So this will be the number of patient for me. And then I will bring the value over here. Okay. First I'll choose February. So I'm matching the values 431. So you can see the value has gone behind this particular shape. So what I will do, I will just select this shape, then go to format. Okay. And just click send backward. You have to click 3 to 4 times. So just click 3 to 4 times, send backward, and automatically the value will be displayed over here. Likewise, you can see the 431. All right. So next thing what we have to do is we have to create an area chart that is nothing but spark line, which will show the spikes of that particular month, how it is affecting, or it gives us the daily trend of that particular number of patients. So for that, I will just choose the area chart from here. So this is the area chart. Okay. and I will just take a date from here. Okay, so based on this date we have to take, and I will just take the number of patients from here. Alright, and from here what I will do, I will just delete this. We don't want quarter and day. Okay, we just want up till day. Okay, we don't want year and quarter, all those things. We'll just keep it till date, and we'll do some cleaning on this first. So I'll just go to format visual. I will go to x-axis. I will turn on off all the values, and we don't want title as well. Similarly, on y-axis, we will turn off the values and we will turn off the title. We don't want grid lines as well, so grid lines are also off, and we don't want title as well. So just go in general and turn off the titles. Okay, and first go in general again, and from effects turn off the background as well. And now what we will do, I will have to just uh, select the width and size of this particular area chart. So height I will choose it as 145. Okay, and the width I will be choosing it as 435. Okay, so this will be the width and size, and the color combinations also I have to do you. So for visual I will just go to shaded area, or not, the lines first, and the pixel size I will be using it as 3 itself. Okay, I will keep, and I will just choose the color from here as different color, and I will be using the color code as hashtag 70BBFF. Okay, so this is the color code which we'll be using. The same thing we are using here as well. Yeah, we are using the same thing, but we want to keep the dates over here, that is axis over here. So I'll just choose the axis first. Okay, so we want x-axis. I'll just turn on the title. The title will turn on the values. Okay, so these are the values, and this 0 represent, this 10 represent just the uh, date of that particular axis. Okay, so I'll just select this again, and I will just go to grid lines, and I will turn off the vertical grid lines. Okay, now just try to bring it over here. Perfect. All right, so in this particular way. All right, so here you can see we have brought up the day from here. All right, and now, so this is, if you take your mouse over here, so the one is nothing but 1st of February, because we have chosen the first. So here you can see 5 is nothing but the 5th of February, and the number of patients were 19. So if you take here on 21st February, that were number of patients were 2022, likewise. All right, so in this way we are saying, if you want, we can add one more placeholder over here, which will tell us that which month has been selected. Okay, so let's do that. So I'll just right click over here, and I will create a new measure. Okay, or we have already created. Here you can see we have already brought month and year. So we will just bring that itself. So I'll just select the new KPI card, and I will just select the month and year. Okay, so this is the month and year for us, February 2024. And I will just go to turn off the label, general, I'll turn off effects, and I'll just reduce it. We'll do some quick formattings on this. Go to visual, go to category value. Here I will choose this as geo bold. Okay, and I'll just choose a different color for this one. Okay, fine, and I'll reduce the size to 30. Okay, so this is a monthly view. This is the month which has been selected. So as soon as I've just reduced the size more for this, it doesn't look good. Perfect. So this is the February 2024. Okay, that is based on our, what is the monthly view from here. So if you change over here, and if you choose March, you can see the March 2024, the value will be changing automatically. So you will know which month has been selected from here. All right, so that's the only thing, or the only way we have just created this. You can do, if you want, you can do some more formatting also. We'll do, just try to do what I'll do. I'll go in background effects, and I will turn on the background. I'll choose a darker background over here, this one, or we'll choose this. Yeah, perfect. And I'll go here, and in category value I'll choose it as white. Okay, so now it's eye catching and we can know what's actually we are selected. Perfect. All right, cool guys. And now we have to find out for other as well. So now we'll just drag this placeholder from here, and or we can drag everything over here. Actually, I will just select this entire thing. Okay, and I'll just copy this and paste this. Okay, I've just copied and paste. Again, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. Okay, so four placeholders for four KPIs we want it. So I'll just select this one, two, three, four. Or first I'll just bring it to this end, and let me see how many we want. Yeah, we want this to one, two, three, four. Go to format, go to align, and we'll just distribute this horizontal. Perfect. All right. So you can see here we have distributed it horizontally. So just let me check what's the size of this first. The width is 455. Okay, so just let me check what the width we are using. Okay, so width is 455. Just do this correction again, guys. Okay, so width we are using 455. So similarly for this also I'll just choose the width again. Select all of these and I will just choose it as 455. Okay. Now to have an even space in between these three, all these particular containers, it is very easy actually to do. So select all the containers, one, press control 2, 3 and 4. Just go to format, just go to align and just click on distribute horizontally. Automatically the space in between this will be managed. All right. So based on that, you have to do all the things. Now we have to do the second KPI. And what we want here is actually as per our problem statement. Just let's see. Where is it? Okay, yeah. So we have to find out average wait time. So I will just change the name over here as the title of this as average wait time. Okay. I'll just bring it over here. So this also I'll just bring it at center, sparkline. And now this we have to change and we have to write first calculation over here. So first I will just go ahead and I'll right click over here and I will create a new measure. So we have to find out the average wait time. So it is very easy for us. I will use an average wait time. Okay, so average wait time we already have. If you see in the data, we already have this patient wait time column available. So we just have to take average of each and every value. So for that, I will just take an average, right? And I have to take it for wait time. Okay, so that is for wait time, and I'll just hit close and I will hit enter. As soon as I do, you can see a new measure has been created which tells me the average wait time. So now I will just select this and I will delete this first bit, that is number of patient, and I will just go ahead and select the average wait time. All right. So I can see the average wait time for me is 36.67, which we have exactly over here, right? But one thing we want is we want minutes to be displayed in front of this value. That is nothing but that it is in seconds, minutes, hours, or what. So the user won't get confused. So I will add a minute in front of that. And to do that, we have to modify our calculation again. So I'll just go in our this particular calculation for average wait time, and I will just use a format function here, right? So to add any thing over here, I can do it here as well. But if I do formatting, or if you try to change anything over here, so if, like, let's say I will tell you. So let's say I'm writing and over here, and okay, and I just want to add a minute in front of this, and I just write a minute here. Close this, and when I hit enter, here you can see there is a value available for us. So you can see this is a large value which is taking so many of decimal places. After decimal points, it is taking so many of numbers which we don't want. So we have to do a formatting over here first. I will use a format function over here in front of this, and I will just have to do formatting for this. It's comma. Okay, and I'll be using what should be the format for this, and I will be using it as 0.0. That is, I'm only taking up to 1 decimal points. Okay, and I just have to write it in double inverted quotes and this, and just hit enter. And as soon as you do, you can see it is taking now a correct value. So after a value, it is taking only one particular. I can say that. Oh, 1 second. Just format this. Sorry. So one decimal. Okay, after this particular one number after that particular decimal here, you can see. All right. So now one thing what I have to do, I have to add one space in between here as well. So I'll just change the calculation here again, and you can add a space over here. Okay, and I'll use an add again, and I just hit enter. You can see a space has been added, right? So this is an average wait line for us. We have to change this spark line as well. Just select this spark line, and here you can see instead of number of patients, I will delete this. I have to take average wait time from here. Okay, but now average wait time, it is not taking the average wait time for us. Why? Because this is now converted as an it is a measure, but it is not a numerical data type, because we have added a text in front of that. It is not taking a numerical data type, and we want a numerical data type which should be present to create this particular area chart. So for that, what we will do, I will take a patient wait time. We already have this here. So take this particular patient wait time and add it onto y-axis, right? But it is right now sum. So instead of taking sum, I will just go here and I will just make it as average. Okay. So just make sure that we are taking average of that, right? So now we have the correct values over here. All right, getting. So now we'll just go over here and we'll just do formattings on this. Just go to lines and we'll just choose it as 2, or will keep it as 3 only. Color we have to change. Okay, so I think so we are using a color code as hashtag 70BBFF. Okay, so this is the color code. All right, so this was for average wait time. The now next thing what we have to find out is, as per our problem statements, let me show you. 1 second. So we have to find out patient satisfaction score. Okay. So based again, that will be an average. Again, you can see here I have calculated the patient satisfaction score. I will just copy the text from here. I don't have to write it over here. So I'll just Control C and Control V, and I'll bring it over here. The title is it. I will write it over here. Okay. So this is a patient satisfaction score for us. Okay. The same thing over here. Copy this again. The number and the spark line as well. All right. So now we have to write again one more calculation. I will write the new measure and name it as satisfaction score. Okay. And it is again the average. We have to take average of what? The satisfaction score we have already. That is patient satisfaction score, and I'll just hit enter. Okay. So now just select this KPI card, delete this from here, and I'll just bring patient satisfaction score here. That is 4.72. Simple. Similarly here as well. Just delete this average wait time and we'll just bring the patient satisfaction score which we just derived right now. All right. So this is the thing, and just we'll format this, go to lines, go to color, and we choose the same color code which I used previously for this. All right. The next thing what we have to find out is we have to find out the department reference. All right. So we have to find out number of patient referred. So based which is available for us in the problem statement. All right. So for that, I will just first copy this. Okay. And I will name it as number of patients referred. Correct. This as well. Next. Perfect. Okay. So now for that I will write a calculation, but first let us understand how what is the number of patients referred. So this is the data we have. So here you can see we have an field called referral. Okay. So if this particular department referral, it have an value like general practice orthopedics, what does it mean? That the patient is referred or patient himself referred to a particular department, that where he knows what is his disease, what pain he have, and based on that he knows which particular medical practitioner to go or which doctor he should visit, and based on that he booked an appointment to orthopedics general practice department. Likewise, so if he knows and he's going to that particular department, then he have that particular entered over here. And if he doesn't know, if he have it booked while doing an appointment and on the desk he's coming and telling those things, then it will have none. So we want these particular values which have a department in that. So for that we have to write a calculation where the department is there and it should not be none. So I will write a calculation for this, as I will just create a new measure. Okay, and I will name it as number of patients referred. Okay, and here what I will do, I will use a calculate function. Okay, so calculate, I have to write the expression first. Okay, so now I have to take count of all the rows. Okay, first I will take count of all the rows, and I will take count and the count of which particular table it is asking me. I have to use count rows function over here. So I'll use count rows of which particular table. We have only one table, that is ER data. So I'll be taking the hospital ER data. We have to take count of each and every row. Close this. And second argument, it has filter. So we have to apply a filter over here, which is important now. Where department referral, okay, where this department referral, it is not equal to none. Okay, I mean it should be not equal to none. So none will be excluded, and all other whatever the departments will be there, it will be calculating that. Okay, so where department is not equal to none, and make sure that none, whatever we are writing, this none text, it should be, it is case sensitive. Whatever is there in the data, we have to write that only. So I will just take none, and I will close the bracket. Okay, and I will just hit enter. Perfect. And now I will just select this, close this, and I will just select it as uh, the number of patients referred. So here you can see that cannot find the table. What's the issue? Okay, so here we will write it in double inverts. Okay, it is not taken in single quotes, it should be in double quotes. All right. So number of patients, so you can see 179, which is the same what we have in this dashboard as well. That is 179. Now we'll change this as well. Just close this patient satisfaction score. Instead of, we have to take number of patients referred for daily trend. Okay, and now I will just do some formattings over here. Go to lines, color, and I'll choose it as this color. All right. So in this way, actually, we have found out all the KPIs, designed and developed all the KPIs, all the spark lines based on our requirements. And this is the higher level summary of that particular hospital based on that particular month. Okay, so this is the information which we are getting over here. And so in this way, I hope you have come at this particular point of this particular video. So those guys who are watching till this particular time, I hope you are doing great, and I'm sure you will be doing great in this project and in many projects as well. And you have learned so many things from here. And going forward, we have to learn so many things as well. In charts creation, we have to write multiple DAX, multiple formattings we have to do, and we have to see what insights also we can be generated from here. All right. So now we will move ahead with our charts details. All right. Okay. So as per our requirements, let us see. So we have to find out the first thing, that is patient admission status, and we have to track admitted versus non-admitted patients. And in this, what we will do, we will have to create an matrix chart for this, just a text chart, I can say, where it will be easily visualized for us. So I will take a matrix chart from here. Okay, so and I'll just reduce it. First, what I will do, I will just create a placeholder to place this chart first, right? So I will just copy this placeholder, Control C, Control V, and I will bring it over here. Nice. Okay. and I will give some properties to this. Go to general, and I will give or specify the height and width for this. So for height, I will be using the height as 177, and the width I will be using it as 630. Okay, so this will be the height and width for me, and now I will just try to bring it over here. So what we want here is actually we want it admitted versus not admitted. Uh, but if you can see in this particular entire table we do not have any admitted or non-admitted patient field column. So we have to create that first, and it will be a calculated column if I show you the data, and it will be derived from this, that is patient admission flag. So if it is true, it means that he has been admitted. If it is false, he is not admitted. So very simple calculation we will write into this. I'll just right click over here and I will create a new column. Okay, make sure you are taking a new column, not a new measure. Okay, and I will just name it as admission status. Okay, so this is my admission status, and a very simple formula we will be using an if condition for this. I will use an if condition, a logical test we have to mention. So if patient admission flag, okay, if patient admission flag or date flag. So if patient admission flag, if it is equal to true, okay, so I will take if it is equal to true, all right, then my second argument will be result. What should be the result if it is true? Okay, so I will enter, or I will get an output as in text. I want it as admitted. Okay, so I want an output as admitted if this condition satisfies, and second is if this condition does not satisfy, then what should be the output? Simple. If it is false, that is nothing but other condition is false, we don't have to write it, so automatically it will be taking it as not admitted. Okay, so we will take it as not admitted. Simple. Close the bracket and I will hit enter. All right, so now we can see this has been created. Now I will just go into this particular visual and I will just take an admission status and add it into. You can see Naira, we have admitted and not admitted status. All right, and now we want patient. Okay, so number of patient, we have already calculated the number of patient. I will add. I'll just check this. Okay, so you can see these are the admission status for that particular thing. Okay, or we can say that particular month. What are the admission and what are not admitted? Now next thing what we will do, I will just come over here. So we want percentage also. We want percentage total as well. So I'll just go over here and I will just click on show value as, and I will show it as percentage of grand total. So I will show it this as a percentage of grand total. And I will take again the number of patients and I will add it at the top. So you can see you have number of patients as well and you have percentage of grand total also. So now we have to do some formattings on this. So what I will do, here you can see the column names are been taken from this value field placeholders itself. So here I will double click and I will just keep it as patients. Okay, so this will be patients, and this is I will name it as percentage of total. Okay, so this will be my percentage of total. Hit enter. So you can see automatically the names are being changed over here as well. Percentage of, hit enter. Okay, so likewise now we have to do some formattings on this. So I'll bring it first over here. So now you can see it has been gone behind this shape. So what I will do, I will just select this shape, go to format and just click 3 to 4 times send to backward. Okay, and you can see it has been brought in front of our that particular placeholder. Now select this and we'll do some formattings. First go to general, in effects turn off the background, and title we have to give it. So I will name the title of this particular thing as patient admission status. Okay, and font I will choose it as Canada. All right, increase the size likewise. Oops. And it should be bold, and I will make it up to 16 is fine. Okay, and I will just increase it. Nice, perfect. Now we'll do some more formattings on this. Just select it, go over here. Layout we will choose it as minimal. Okay, we'll choose the layout as minimal. Grid we don't want. Okay, so horizontal grid lines we will choose it as white. Vertical we don't want it. Okay, All right, and borders, we will choose the borders at this, and values, we'll choose it as semi bold, we'll make it as bold, and I will choose it as 14. Okay, value should be 14. Then subtotals we don't want, just turn off the totals, all the totals we have to turn it off. Then go to column headers, we'll make it as again UI semi bold, and we'll make it as 14. All right. Similar way, we will go to row headers as well, make it as semi bold, and we'll make it as 14 as well. Perfect. Okay. And so just let me see what should be the font size for the title. I think so this is fine. Okay. And now what we will do, I'll just change the title from here to 17. Let's make it as 17. Fine. Perfect. All right, so just increase it likewise and likewise. Perfect. Now what we will do, we will bring the a bar chart to show it from here, just for a visual representation where it looks nice. But if you can take an insight from here that for 2024 February month, admitted patient were almost 52% and these were 48%. Okay. So likewise, you can take an insight from here. All right. Or you can round this off to 0 decimal points. So that will be your homework. I won't do that. So just try to make it to a 0 decimal point. So this will be 52 and this will be as 48%. Round it off. All right. Next. So what we have to do is I will add a bar. So I'll just select the bar from here first. And I will take admission status and I will take what's that, number of patients. All right. Okay, so just try to bring it over here and we'll do some formattings. Go to general, from effects I will turn it off, and into visual, turn off everything on X and Y axis, or like just I will keep it over here. And what I will do, uh we will sort this based on admission status, patient status. Okay, and this also will be sorted in descending order. Okay, so you can see it should be in descending order, so the sync is there in both these two visuals. So now I can turn off the title as well, and on y-axis also I will turn off all the things, as well as I will turn off the title over here. And now just reduce the visual so that it is perfectly aligned over here. All right, and now from here, go to bars, go to layout, and the space the between these particular things will take it as 50. All right, full, the same thing we have it here. Okay, and now we will choose the color for these bars. I will just choose the color for these bars as, but the code will be 41A4FF. Okay, so this will be the color code for me. Can increase the light rays also. All right, so this is the patient admission status for us. Okay, okay, and now it looks nice. So this is the patient admission status. Next, what we have to do as per our problem statement is to find out the patient age distribution. Okay, so first what I will do, I will just create a placeholder again. So I'll just copy this first, Control C, Control V, and I'll just try to bring and place it over here. Go to General, go to Properties, and the height for this, I will choose it as 368. Okay, so this will be the height for me. All right, and now we will create it over here. So first I will go to Shape first, and I will just make it as 4%. The rounded corners, I have made it at 4% because it was looking too the rounding was too high, so I will just reduce that so that it looks nice, the placeholder looks correctly. And now what I will do, we will have to create a age group first. So if you see our data, you can see here age group which we have over here is in age. It is a general numbers are given to each and every patient because their age might be different of each and every patient. It should be different, or it will be different actually. So ranging from so all kind of patients visits over there from childrens to adults, right? And based on that, we have to create a groups first, and those groups should be represented in the form of a chart. So we have a requirement in our data that the groups or the patient groups should be created by 10 years age intervals. Okay. So now create those, how we can do that, I will just show you. So we have to write a calculation first, and that is nothing but we have to write a column, right? So we have to create a column which gives us the age group. So I'll just right click over here and I will just create a new column, and I have to write a calculation, but it's too big, okay, to write. So I will just copy it. So I have already have this calculation. I will explain you how it works. So now we will take a new column. So for that, I will right click and create or take new column. Make sure you take new column, not a new measure. And I will name it as age group. But for this, it's a long calculation to write. I have already wrote this particular calculation. You can see here. So I have already wrote, and I will explain you how it works. I will just take it over here and I'll just take a new column again, and I will try to paste it over here. So I have taken age group, the new name of the column, and I'm using a switch function. So switch function is used when we have multiple conditions and it takes or satisfies the true condition based on this particular function as well. And it returns the value with whatever conditions we have applied into it. You can also use if condition also, but I find switch as more reliable and more convenient for this particular case. So how it works is, if patient age is greater than equal to 100, it will give us 100 values. If patient age is greater than or equal to 90, so you will get confused over here. It will actually check from 100 and or we can say 100 from 90 to 99 it will check, and then it will give us this particular output. So based on that, all these conditions are been written. You can just pause your screen and you can write all these conditions. Make sure you write it correctly, and I will just hit OK button. All right. So as soon as you do, now what I will do, I will take a new chart over. I will take clustered column chart, and I will bring first the age group in x-axis. Okay, and then I will take number of patients. So as soon as you do, you can see the number of patient and age groups are there over here. Only one thing that now what we have to do is we have to make it in ascending order, right? So that age groups are from 0 to 9 and 10 to 19 likewise. So I'll just see if it works. So based on age group, okay, and I'll just sort this exist. So we have taken on based on age group, and instead of descending, we'll take it in ascending. Okay. So in this way, it is in the correct format 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, likewise. All right. Now we will do some formattings on this particular chart. Now select this. I will go over here and I will go on x-axis first. I will turn off the title because it's self-explanatory, and we will change the values font to 11. Okay. I'll just change it to 11 first, and I will just make it more faint. All right. And next, what I will do, go to y-axis, turn off the values as well, and turn off the title as well, because the title itself says the number of patient by each group. So we are anyway going to present a data label over here. So just go to data level and I will turn it off, on, sorry, not off, and go to values over here. I will make it as semi bold, and I will make it as black, and increase the size of whatever you want. All right, not this is too high. Okay, simple. All right, and now we'll just bring it over here. All right, now we'll go here, go to general. In effects, I'll turn off the background, and in title, I will make it as Canberra. I'll make it as 17, and I will make it as bold. Okay, so this is the number of patients by age group. Let me check if I'm doing it correct. Right, I'm doing it. So now just select this, and now I will go to visual again, and in columns, I will go to layout first, and I will make the space between them as 55%. Okay. So this will be the uh, the space between that, and now I have to give the conditional formatting over here, that the higher the age number, or we can say the number of patient for that particular age group, it should give us the darker color, and other should be giving us the fainter color in the gradient manner. So what I will do, I will just go in colors and I will click on this conditional formatting. Just go over here, and here it is asking what rule should be given. So rule, I will choose it as gradient, and it should be on count of age group. Make sure it should be it should be on number of patient, not on count of age group. It should be on number of patients. Okay, just make sure it is in number of patients, because we have taken number of patients on y-axis to show for that particular age group. Okay, and now the lowest value, what should be the lowest color? Okay, so for lowest value, the color I will be using as color code as A0D1FF. Okay, so this will be my for lowest value, and for highest value I will be using it as hashtag 1E8EET. Okay, so this will be my second color, and I'll just click on OK, and you can see the color has been imposed over here. And now I will just turn off the legends. I don't want the legend to be shown over here. All right, so this is the number of patients by age group, and for this particular month 2024 February, you can see uh, 30 to 39, then 40 to 49, and 7 to 79 age groups are the, or the people from those age groups have mostly visited to the hospitals. If you change this, if you want to see for March, you can see for March it was 60 to 69 and 30 to 10. Uh, I mean, elder people, I can say these are not elder, we can say these are late young peoples, and we can say they are very, I can say these are adults, 30 to 39, I can say adults, and these are the adult peoples who are, visiting the hospitals. Similarly, if I see for April, again the trend changed 20 to 29, so young peoples are also um, going more towards the hospitals. Okay, so this will be for May. If you can see for May also, you can see over here. All right, so likewise you can just analyze this and you will get an insights from this. All right, so now so this was for patient administration status and patient number of patient by age group. So I'll just increase this particular upwards, and I'll just take it a bit down. One sec. All right, so now next we will move ahead with our next problem statement. Okay, so as per our next problem statement, we have to find out different department referrals, and we have to find out it across different departments. So again, I will use the same layout, that is nothing with a placeholder. Okay, and I'll reduce it likewise. Okay, looks fine. And now I will take a clustered bar chart, and I will have to use a department referral. I will put it on y-axis, and then I will be using as a number of patients like that. Okay, now let's quickly do some formatting. I will just select this, and I will go to format printer and just format it with this. Okay, so quickly it has been formatted everything, and I will just reduce it likewise. Try to bring it over here in this manner. Okay, and I will just do some quick formattings on this. Again, I will go to bars, and in layout, instead of 55 I'll use 35. Okay, so it looks a little big, and go to y-axis, and here I will use it as 12, and I will use it as semi-bold. Okay, and I will make it a little darker so that it is visible to our eyes, and you can see this is the number of patients by department referral. Okay, perfect. So these are the number of patients by department referral, and based on this we can see which most of the patient have not referred, but second one is the general practice orthopedics. So these are the referrals which patient go, they book for the appointments for those medical practitioners, and they know where to go. So that's the referrals which has been done. All right, so this was the number of patients by department referral.